Um, she is Miss Abiola Abrams. She is an author, a media personality. She blogs and writes for a myriad of places, including Essence and others. She has starred on VH1's Tough Love as Miss Piggy. She as a social experiment. She has installations in museums, numerous pieces on different blogs and websites. She writes for an abundance of outlets. She is a speaker, she is a motivator, she is a hustler, and she is beautiful. Please put your hands together for Miss Abiola Abrams.
Thank you so much. Actually, ladies, put your hands together for yourselves. It is Sunday, and you are here in the spirit of sisterhood, in the spirit of, doing something better for yourselves. So many people don't put their energy and their time and their money where their mouth is. They say they want something better out of life, and then when we see like a sister like Oprah create a positive network and it's struggling for ratings because people, what they say and what they want and what they actually do are two different things. So I applaud each and every one of you for being here today. Thank you. And thank you to Felicia and LaGrange for putting this together and the Women of Laces. All right, so my name is Abiola Abrams, as the beautiful sister said. I'm an author and a TV personality and a lifestyle passionista. Now, what does that mean? All right, all that means is that I am a passionate living expert, okay? I'm obsessed with passion, pleasure, joy, love, and happiness. All of the things that they would deny us as a black woman, all right? Or as a Latina woman, or as a woman of color. Because if you listen, the media will tell you lies about yourself. So you have to find that still small voice within you rather than listening to the voice that's coming from outside. So my next book is called The Official Bombshell Handbook, and I'm going to be reading excerpts from that. And the reason it's named The Official Bombshell Handbook is because I'm reclaiming the word bombshell to mean a woman who owns herself, a woman who loves herself, a woman who is full of herself in a positive and healthy way. So I'm going to ask y'all to start with a woo! And I know it's early, but I want to get the energy going. Start with a woo! Exactly. Now, who says black women are angry and don't know how to have fun? They don't know what they're talking about. And the reason we begin like that is because that is the international sound of people having fun. So we begin like that because when you greet the universe with that kind of energy and that kind of joy and exultation, the universe shoots that back to you. As the sister Tina was saying earlier, whatever it is that we put out is what we get back. Love out, love back. All right? So today we are doing an Abiola love intervention. My talk is called Relationship Rehab, the top 10 reasons why your love life might suck. All right? And when we know what we don't want and we know what's not working, then we can focus even more on being clear of what we do want and what is working. All right, so I had a special request from Felicia to start with the way that I give a lot of my talks. I talk a lot at colleges and universities and that sort of thing. And I know everybody, some people have a plate in front of them, but I'm gonna ask you to stand up. Stand up. All right, so we're standing because we want to see who is in the room. So, all right, my gorgeous goddesses, have a seat if you are already in the career of your dreams. If you have chosen your dream career, you feel good about going to work, work is play for you, and you feel wonderful about it. All right, we had a couple of sisters sit down, that's a good thing. Have a seat, my bodacious beauties. If you feel that you have the relationship that you want with your family, if you feel great about your interpersonal relationships with your family and your friends and the people in your life are exactly what you want them to be. You have a safe space of communication, safe way of dealing and talking with the people in your life, and you feel really healthy and good about it. All right. Have a seat, my lovely ones. If you feel great about your financial life, if your life is financially healthy, if you are not avoiding the phone when the bill collectors call, because my degrees look pretty on my wall, but the healthy and abundant. All right, have a seat if you are in the relationship of your dreams. If you look at your significant other and you are feeling great about that love partner. If the person who you look over to in bed is exactly who you ordered from your creator. All right, have a seat if you feel have a seat if you feel like you have a spiritual practice that you're happy with, you are engaged every week in learning and growing and evolving, and you're feeling pleased about that. All right, have a seat if you came out today to improve yourself. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. Exercise, not to shame anybody or anything like that, because we all have issues. We are all what I call works in progress, and we are all here together. So more to just show that we all have things that we want to work on. We all have things that we're doing, that we all have things that we can do better. So let's just encourage each other a little bit more. Let's not walk down the street and when we see the next sister, give her, the crooked eye, or we're rolling our eyes because we don't like how she's wearing her hair, or why she got, why is her hair that color, or why is her hair that way, or why is she wearing that outfit, or why is her skirt too short or too long, or why is she walking with that man, or whatever it is. Let's just try practicing a little bit more love towards each other, just knowing that we are each other and we're all works in progress. Yes? Yes. All right. Okay, good. Now, before I get into the top 10 reasons why your love life might suck, I'm going to practice a little bit of transparency and just share with you what I call my relationship resume. All right? Because if anyone is coming and, talking to you about your love life, you should know what's going on in their love life. Right? Fair enough? Yes? Yes. Okay. All right. So I grew up in New York. I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised, grew up in Queens. Any Queens people in the house? All right. I was born in Brooklyn, though, at Kings County Hospital over here. And, but my parents are from Guyana, all right? So when your parents are from somewhere else and you are the first person in your family or one of the first few people in your family born, wherever you're born, it doesn't matter that it looks like Queens on the outside, because it was Guyana in my house all day long. And my mother, my beautiful mother, taught me absolutely nothing about love, sex, dating, relationships. All right? She didn't mention the word sex. When I got my period, I thought I was hemorrhaging. It wasn't something that was discussed in our household, and sex and sexuality and relationships are part of our lives. And so when we don't have those conversations with our children, we just pick up what we see modeled and move forward with that. We all, most of us, our mothers have the saying, don't do as I say, not as I do, which is ridiculous because children learn what you do. Children learn what you live. And so my parents didn't have the greatest relationship. They do now. Now they're like walking on the beach and going to jazz clubs. And I'm like, where was this during my formative years? Why couldn't I see this when I was growing up so that I could know what a positive relationship looks like? So then I went to an all-girls school. So clearly I wasn't meeting any boys or learning anything there. And my first boyfriend had a summer job on the ice cream truck. So I literally started dating the first guy that rode through my block. Dated him all through high school. And then I had a different boyfriend, dated him all through college. And then just as I was graduating from college, started dating someone else that I dated for my entire 20s. And he was the white lion, the chupacabra, the whatever you would have it, an Ivy League educated brother who wanted a dark-skinned chocolate woman. So, as I was taught to do growing up, I treated him as if the sun rose and set on him. And shortly after, around the time I was turning 30, we got married. And we had an amazing wedding. It was in Montego Bay at the Ritz-Carlton. It was glamorous, child. Until I got home and he was cheating. And I found out he had been cheating. And the only time he stopped was because he couldn't cheat while we were walking down the aisle. Because his chicks probably couldn't afford to fly to Jamaica. And so clearly, that was my exit. That was the end of that relationship. And then I went about the business of studying love and studying relationships and studying dating and open communication and having a safe place to communicate. Because so many of us, we'll trust somebody with our lives. I remember having this conversation with this guy, and it was like, I would trust you with my life, but not with my heart. And we're approaching life in a closed sort of way, and it's not serving us. It's not serving any of us. So again, that's why I come back to that idea of repurposing what the word bombshell means and what it means to be a bombshell and an irresistible woman. Because, as I said earlier, the media will tell you something otherwise. Psychology Today had a blog last year that they did by a pseudoscientist about why, quote unquote, black women are unattractive. Nightline will have those specials every now and then. Why can't a successful black woman get a man? And all of that stuff is garbage. It doesn't reflect my life, and it doesn't reflect the lives of the women around me. So we have to stop letting other people tell our stories, and that's what's so important about forums like this, where we get to tell our stories to each other, rather than just taking in what they're trying to indoctrinate us with. So who are some famous bombshells, some women who, are supposed to be irresistible in the society's ideal? Just call them out. When you say bombshell, who are the women you think of? Absolutely, Halle Berry. Who else? Pam Grier, Marilyn Monroe, Angela Bassett, Felicia Rashad. Somebody over there said Angelina Jolie. Oprah, absolutely. Oprah, when you say Oprah and, Claire Huxtable, to me, those are the true bombshells, because I feel like I'm in a room full of bombshells. I look around and I'm like, wow, I came in, it was a fashion show sitting there. I was like, these are the most beautiful, creatively styled, colorful, gorgeous rainbow of women, that I've been around for a long time. And I was like, why are these women so much more exciting than the women that I've been around? And I was like, oh, haven't been hanging around my sisters in Brooklyn for a while. And so, we don't want to hear it, but there's this, I always say to people that bad relationships reflect the fact that we have a bad relationship with ourselves. If you are in a bad relationship, I know that, we want to blame circumstances, but things don't just happen to you once you're an adult. We have choice. We make choices, and we have free agency. And sometimes we feel that it's better to be with any man is better than being by yourself. And there's great strength in learning how to enjoy you. If you can't be with you, why would somebody else want to be? If you don't enjoy your company, why would someone else enjoy your company? And it all comes back to self-worth, as Tina was talking about earlier. There's that Marianne Williamson quote, the famous quote that was attributed to Nelson Mandela for a while. He's used it in his inaugural speech. I'm going to read it to you now. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? We get scared of that. Who does she think she is? Actually, who are you not to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. Anyone ever do that? Pretend to be less than you are so that the people, in your lives may feel comfortable, or won't think, well, who does she think she is? Or she's coming in here trying to tell us whatever, or she thinks that she went to that school and so now she knows it all, or why would she's preaching to me. Yeah, we have to stop doing that. We have to stop playing small. It doesn't serve us, and it doesn't serve the people in our lives. It's about personal power. All right, so the top 10 reasons why your love life might suck. And the reason why I talk about personal power and your love life in the same conversation is how we do anything is how we do everything. That you can't feel good about yourself and feel bad about your relationship at the same time. It won't work. You can't compartmentalize your life. I know, I've tried. It doesn't work. All right, so the number 10 reason why your love life might suck. Your love life might suck if you have low expectations and you don't know what you want. All right, so career-wise, like I've spent the past 10 years making media to empower women and girls. All right, my first work that I did coming out of school was a play called Goddess City, which was at the Schomburg in Harlem and a number of different theaters in New York. And it was this theater piece about women that covered everything from, told stories of everything from rape and female genital mutilation to just general empowerment. And it was actually finally published last year, so that's a great thing. And after that, like in the early 00s, around like 2003 to 2004, stuff like that, I hosted a number of different shows like the Source All Access that came on at 3 a.m. after the Apollo on NBC, and HBO show, and then I had a BET show for a couple of years, around like 2008, a short film show. And so all of that was going really well and was really exciting. Simon & Schuster published my first novel, and I had a weekly column in Rolling Out. And then VH1 gave me a call, because I was always talking about my love life on my BET show, and asked if I wanted to be a part of a new show that they had coming out called Tough Love. And first, this was like 2008 or so, back in the Flavor Flav days of VH1 reality TV. I was like, I don't think so. Then 3 things happened that changed my mind. 1, I got laid off from my BET hosting job. 2, the recession went into full swing. 3, they told me that Drew Barrymore was the executive producer. And I was like, okay, it would be really interesting with all of the stuff that I'm writing and all the stuff that I'm doing to go on this show and at the same time, collect a $1,500 a week paycheck, which would have been great for me at the time. It could have been a show about cats. Could have been a show about dogs, could have been a show about my next door neighbor. But with those 3 factors, at the time, I would have been there. And so I went on the show, and the most interesting thing is that people always ask, what was it that I took away from the show? The biggest thing was the thing that they tried to make, a source of shame was that they had in the opening credits, they said, it's easier to get into Harvard Law School than it is to get a date with Abiola. And they nicknamed me Miss Picky, thinking that that was an insult. But that is a compliment. We have a right to be selective and to be picky when it comes to matters of love. And society will tell you again, otherwise, if you are, a certain woman from a certain community or a certain whatever, that you should just take whoever is coming at you. Absolutely not. When we know our self-worth, as I say when I talk to, young girls, I say, if you had diamonds in your pocket, would you give them out on every date you went on? I think not. Well, what I have is more valuable than diamonds. What you have is more valuable than diamonds. And we forget that sometimes. We need to remember that. So your love life might suck if you have low expectations. Your life will rise to the expectations that you have. And that goes for your love life, that goes for your career, that goes for any aspect of your life is going to rise to the expectations that you have for yourself. So let's repeat an affirmation to fight that, low expectations thing. I deserve love and happiness in my life.
I deserve love and happiness in my life.
One more time. I deserve love and happiness in my life.
I deserve love and happiness in my life.
Fantastic. All right, so number 9, your love life might suck if you fear and block intimacy. Many people have a fear of true intimacy. How do I know? Because I'm one of them. We have this paradigm of the strong black woman, and it really does us a disservice. On the surface, it sounds like it's something positive. But it allows us to dehumanize ourselves and think that we're these superwomen when we're just human beings who need love, who are vulnerable, who cry, who need to be hugged and loved like everybody else. And when we put up what I call the golden gate around our hearts, maybe you can't let other people in to hurt you, but you can't let other people in to love you either. And you can't find the really true, that deep love that you desire and that you deserve. All right, and a big complaint actually that I get from men, they write to me, on my blog and various columns and stuff, is that they say, but these women feel, they act like they don't need me. Men need to be needed. They need to be needed, just like we need to be adored. They need to feel needed. And there's a difference between neediness and needing someone, needing your partner that you are with. There's a big difference between that, and we confuse that because we don't want to be needy. We don't want to be that. But the person that we are loving needs to feel like we need them. And so open up a little bit, open your heart, let something in, let something out, and I promise you that you will find love like you can't even imagine. All right, so let's repeat. I am willing to be vulnerable.
I am willing to be vulnerable.
Okay, so the number 8 reason why your love life might suck is you have a thing for bad boys. Raise your hand if you now or ever before had a thing for bad boys. Come on, tell the truth, ladies. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Shame the devil. All right, so we confuse being a good person with being boring. There is nothing wrong with being a good person. You deserve a good man. There's nothing that feels good about feeling bad when it comes to love. We confuse all the drama and issues with passion. That's not passion. That's not love. That's not what you deserve. You deserve more. Repeat after me. I deserve a good man.
I deserve a good man.
Yes. All right, so the number 7 reason your love life might suck. Number 7 reason your love life might suck is if you're doing what I call pedestaling, which is putting your partner on a pedestal. Now, we should both put each other on a pedestal. We should both be on pedestals in a relationship. But I'll give you an example. When I was growing up, we all used paper plates in my house because my brother and I used to fight over washing the dishes. And so my mother was like, she was through with it, and she's like, paper plates for everybody. Except for my dad. Daddy had real plate, real silverware. We had a dishwasher, but my mother was like, no, the dishwasher uses up too much hot water and heat and energy and electricity and all of that, paper plates. Now, the message is when we're all sitting there, eating like we're at a picnic, and my dad is looking like he's at a 4-star restaurant, is that daddy somehow deserves something a little bit better than the rest of the family. And there are different ways that we sometimes get that message. True love is between equals. Say that. True love is between equals.
True love is between equals.
My love and I are equally yoked.
My love and I are equally yoked.
Yes. All right, so the number 6 reason your love life might suck is if you are attracted to fixer-uppers and projects. You can only change a man, ladies, if he is wearing diapers. All right? So leave the fixer-uppers. Well, if I get with him and then he gets a job and then, maybe I can get him in school and if I pay off his child support and, no. No. Repeat after me. The only person I can change is myself.
The only person I can change is myself.
Yes, okay. Number 5 reason your love life might suck is if your man is unavailable. Now, there are different ways that a man could be unavailable. He could be emotionally distant. He could be in a long distance, situation, or he could belong to somebody else. Now, I'm not going to ask people to raise hands on this, but you know who you are and you know what you're doing. And I left something off when I shared with you my relationship resume earlier. That when I came out of the relationship with my husband, because I'm a serial monogamist, like I go from one relationship to another. I'm very rarely single. I had a boyfriend when I was on Tough Love, and so did all the women on the show, actually, frankly. But if your man is unavailable, your love life is going to suck because you deserve someone that is fully present and available in there with you. When I got out of the relationship with my husband, in my head and in my madness, I reasoned, well, everybody's cheating. If my father was cheating and he's a great guy, and my husband was cheating and he seemed like a great guy on the surface, well, then everybody's cheating. At least if I'm the other woman, or if I'm, entering eyes wide open into a situation where I'm, the odd woman out, at least then I know what's going on. That is madness. You deserve to be in a relationship, again, I'll say it again, with someone who is full and present. Not emotionally unavailable, not tolerating you, not a seat filler. You deserve full, bodacious, juicy love. All right? All right, repeat after me. I deserve a man who is fully available.
I deserve a man who is fully available.
Yes, all right. Now, number 4 reason your love life might suck is if you are more in love with your story than you are with yourself. All right? Now, we all have a story that we lead with. The things that we've experienced, the things that we have gone through, all those things. And some of those stories are pretty noble. But again, we use them as a way to cut ourselves off from life. Some of those stories, we wrap ourselves in, our career becomes our identity. I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse, I'm an Indian chief, or whatever it is, Some of those stories become, our nationalities. Like I, mentioned earlier, well, I'm from here, I'm Southern, I'm Northern, I'm Caribbean, I'm Jamaican, I'm whatever. And let that become the definition for ourselves rather than creating our story for ourselves. Some of those stories are downright painful. People have been through horrible things. They could be like, my story is, my father wasn't there, or my father was always there, or I'm an incest survivor, I'm an incest victim, I was abused, I was whatever it is. And I would never take any of that away from any of you. But the thing is that that's not what we should be leading with. That your history does not determine your destiny. Where you have been has nothing to do with where you are going. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. And so I beg you, for your own strength and personal power, to find a way to let those things go. If you need to get into therapy, get into therapy. There's nothing wrong with that. If you need a support group, find a support group. Look stuff up online. Do research. Find some sort of way to heal and move forward. Because my whole thing, the whole reason I'm here is because I don't want anybody to die without becoming the woman that they were meant to be. You were born with a purpose, and it's up to us to rise and shine to that purpose. So say it with me, I'm not my history.
I'm not my history.
All right, so number 3 reason why your love life might suck is if you are projecting. Again, if you are bringing that history, the stuff from the past, and putting it on the person that you are with now, it's not their job to clean up your baggage. It's not anybody's job to deal with all the misters that came before them. And if we don't clean that stuff up, then we keep attracting the same man with different pants on. And wondering, well, why is this happening now? Why did this happen before? Why did this happen? The only common denominator is you. So fix that stuff. Repeat after me, I'm willing to let it all go.
I'm willing to let it all go.
Let's hear that again. I'm willing to let it all go.
I'm willing to let it all go.
All right, so the number 2 reason your love life might suck is if you are dating who other people think you should date. Most of us were raised to be people pleasers, all right? To be nice girls. What do they say? What are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and everything nice? That gets us into trouble. Because everyone around you has a vision for your life. The only thing that is relevant is your vision for yourself. And the only time that their opinion counts is if, obviously if you're in an abusive relationship or something like that, the people that care about you want you to be out of that. But their opinion about who you choose, if he is not, of the right class or right religion or right color or whatever it is, it's irrelevant. And if you are not finding the man that you want, man or woman that you want in your ethnic group, religion, neighborhood, corner bodega, whatever it is, you have my permission to try something new. All right? All right. Turn to somebody and say, you don't have to like who I like. All right? Y'all meant that one. The number 1 reason why your love life life might suck is if you are a serial monogamist who has never truly been single. For all of the talk about single black women and blah, 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 I know very few single black women. Most of us are rarely single because we're usually focused on the last person that went, focused on the next person that's coming along, figuring out what's going on in front of us. There are very few black women that are ever really, truly single. And so that's why, see, she's laughing, yep. It's true. And that's why I ask women to take 12 months out of their lives, if you are, single, and I call it the goddess year. 12 months out of your life where you are focused on being you, where you are focused on learning yourself. And you can start that off celibate, maybe for the first 3 or 4 months, and then date. But here's the amazing thing. When you're going out and you're dating, and you don't have the focus of every single person you're going out with, maybe being the one, it frees your heart, it frees your soul, and it makes you irresistible, ladies. Because DWD, dating while desperate, is not cute. It's not cute. It's not. Desperation is man repellent. It's people repellent. Your girlfriends don't want to be around you and hear those same old desperate stories again. Here she comes. What's she going to say now? That you take those 12 months, and men are encouraged to go out and sow their oats. You know what I mean? Take those 12 months where it is just for you. Take a goddess year where you are focused on learning who you are, on enjoying yourself. When you're sitting down and you feel like, oh, he's interesting, but you're not saying, all right, well, what would our kids look like? What would my last name look like next to his? where you can realize that a date is just a damn date. That's all it is. And you deserve that. All right, so as we close, the biggest thing that I would ask us to do to go forward to have better relationships, because how we do anything is how we do everything, is to practice forgiveness. Not only forgiveness for the people in our lives and the people that came before and the people that did whatever they do, but forgiveness of ourselves. We're so hard on ourselves. We show everybody more compassion than we show ourselves. Forgive yourself, let it go, and realize that you are strong, and you are beautiful, and you are powerful. Say, I am powerful.
I am powerful.
Say, I deserve love.
I deserve love.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
And I have more power than I ever thought possible.
And I have more power than I ever thought possible.
I have more power than I ever thought possible.
I have more power than I ever thought possible.
I have more power than I ever thought possible.
I have more power than I ever thought possible.
Yes, give yourselves a round of applause. Fantastic. My name is Abiola Abrams. I also have to go. My sister's having an event in Harlem, so she's headed to Philly. I'm headed to Harlem. You can find me at abiolatv.com. I'm on Twitter and Facebook at abiolatv. And stay in touch. Get in touch. Let me know how you're doing and what's going on in your lives. Just write laces, phenomenal women of laces in the subject line. All right? And my book, the official Bombshell Handbook, is going to be available this summer. And you'll find all that info at abiolatv.com. Thank you.
In the word